After leaving the Illinois Monument. So right up there is the fort that was impregnable.
I need you to walk down there and look at that monument.
Okay. This is fun for me, though it does seem a little unusually overgrown. Across this field is the Union line, which we'll see in a later video. Just the location of this marker made it interesting to me. U.S. 3 wooden mortars banded with iron, 1 6-pounder and 2 12-pounders were served here July the 1st to the 3rd of 1863 against the Confederate 3rd Louisiana Redan and a small work at its Confederate right. Oh. So this is where they tried to tunnel under the fort. Kind of sneaky. So right over there. In the video of the Illinois Monument, we came across the wayside for this site. Wow, this uphill is kind of uphill. Like steeper than it looks. I went back up to tell Stacey what the marker said.
So you can see from here, right? Like where we were before, where the cannons are.
Yeah.
So that's the Yankee position, and we're on the Confederate position.
Yes. So they came over here, and right down there is where I guess Sherman had the mines put. And it was under there.
No, Grant had the mines put.
Yeah.
Sherman was burning stuff in another town.
Because that's what he did. Okay, so Grant had the mines put. Now, according to that marker, it was right over here where he had the mines put in.
Very cool.
Seems kind of far away from the fort itself. There are markers with a lot of information. Hickenlooper, Captain 5th Ohio Battery, Chief Engineer, 17th Army Corps, March 29th, July 4th, 1863. Logan's approach and the mines at its head under the Confederate 3rd Louisiana Redan were under his personal direction. This is a large battlefield. This marker shows how the site looked at the time. Wow. You can see here on the road, it's right there. Seeing then versus now is always fascinating to me.
The Army.
I was boldly coming up this hill, and then I thought it looked kind of snaky.
Oh, it is kind of snaky. NPS needs to cut the grass. So this is the position affair of the crater. So the Union blasted a hole in the wall. They rushed in, but a second wall stopped them in their tracks. Rushing in where snake gators fear to tread.
Snake gators? I don't even have pants on.
Now I'll poorly read this marker. Confederate position tablet, 3rd Louisiana Redan on left of Jackson Road. So this Redan was blocking the way on the road to Jackson from the Union being able to get there. And this was a fortification against his approach to Jackson. This Redan was held May 22nd, 1863, and the assaults of the Union force repulsed by the 3rd Louisiana, the 43rd Mississippi on its left. The casualties cannot be accurately stated. A Union mine was fired under the Redan the afternoon of June 25th, almost destroying its front parapet, making a crater in its terraplane, but not injuring a parapet across its gorge. It was then held by the 3rd Louisiana, supported by the 6th Missouri, with the 38th Mississippi on the right and the 43rd Mississippi on the left. The Union force assaulted immediately after the mine was fired, occupied the crater, and attempted to carry the parapet across the gorge of the Redan, but was repulsed. Colonel Irwin, 6th Missouri, at the head of some of his men, attempted a countercharge and was killed on top of the parapet. The Union force in the crater was successively relieved by fresh troops. The fighting continued all night and most of the next day, and the position was firmly held. Hand grenades and shells with lighted fuses in place of grenades were freely used on both sides. After dark of the 25th, the 5th Missouri reinforced this position. Casualties: 3rd Louisiana killed 6, wounded 21, total 27. 38th Mississippi killed 1, wounded 3, total 4. 43rd Mississippi killed 6, buried by firing of mine. Wounded 5, total 11. 5th Missouri killed 1, wounded, killed 1, wounded 7, total 8. 6th Missouri killed 3, wounded 22, total 25. Colonel Eugene Irwin and Lieutenant W.S. Lipscomb killed, aggregate killed 17, wounded 58, total 75.
Like you need a spreadsheet. It's hard to read it in that format.
Yeah, it is. That's why, and I'm only partially being lazy about reading these things, but like if you really want to get the information, these markers I'm sure are online, so you can read them and like really soak it in better than I can read it to you. What do we have here? C.S. Missouri supporting the 3rd Louisiana, 6th Infantry, June 25th, July 4th. Killed 11, wounded 74, total 85. Colonel Eugene Irwin, Lieutenants W.S. Lipscomb, John T. Crenshaw, and John Roseberry killed. 5th Infantry, June 25th to July 4th. Killed 1, wounded 7, total 8. 2nd Infantry, June 27th, July 4th. Killed 3, wounded 35, total 38. Lieutenant Colonel Pembroke S. Centeny killed. 1st and 4th Consolidated, July 2nd, 1863. So this was a fortification. Here the Confederates had the high ground. Imagine this place with the walls and the tower. It must have been impressive. And the Union was trying to come from that way, because again, they were over there where that monument is. They were trying to get through here, and this was a massively fortified fortification. It's a really fascinating place to see, and it's a beautiful landscape, but the loss of life here was tremendous. And up here is the highest point, it appears, of this fort. Look how far you can see. And again, a reminder, a lot of the woods were not here at that time. It was all open fields. Confederate line, 3rd Louisiana. Here are a few of the men whose lives were lost at Vicksburg. Pembroke Centenary. Killed in battle, July 1st, 1863. Eugene Irwin, killed in battle, June 25th, 1863. Melancthon Smith, mortally wounded in the crater, June 25th.